All right, welcome back to Radio Wasteland, and our guest, Mary Beth Wrenn. Do we have Mary Beth Wrenn there with us? Yes, we do. Mary, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, thank you for being on. Now, are you a Mary or are you a Mary Beth?
I'm a Mary Beth.
So, Mary Beth it is. Okay, so we're actually really excited about this. What we're hoping to have you do is do a reading for each of us. I'm Chauncey. This is my co-host, Kara.
Hello.
And
Hi.
And we'll have you do that later. But first off, we want to ask you a little bit about auras and a little bit about yourself, if that's all right.
Of course.
Okay.
I'll do my best to answer all the questions.
Now,
usually it's the other way around with me. I usually end up answering your questions first, and then I talk about me. But I'll do my best.
Sounds good. One thing that I always like to ask psychic mediums, because you get a mix of answers on this, is this something... I kind of want the combo answer. Is this something that you were born with, that you learned, and can anybody do it? And I'm happy for you to pick that up wherever you'd like.
Yeah, of course. Well, I do believe that everybody is psychic to some sort of degree. As for psychic mediumship, I do believe it can be developed. I understand, like the very famous psychic John Edwards says, not everyone, all mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are mediums. Now, with that said, I have the ability to see the aura field, but I don't need to see the aura fields with my eyes to interpret the color. I know it sounds kind of strange, but things to me are impressionistically.
Let me stop you there and clarify something. Let me stop you there so we can clarify something for the audience. So a psychic is somebody that can read a person, and a medium is somebody who can communicate beyond the grave?
Yes.
Okay.
And mediums can also communicate with people who, I can only, again, speak for myself as well, people that can be either very, very depressed or sort of disconnected from themselves, because my medium, if you will, technically is the aura itself. And the spirit world doesn't necessarily need a physical body to have an energetic field. I hope that makes sense to you, because I base everything in the energetic field of the auric field. And so when I pick up on the spirit world, I don't necessarily see a physical body. I see, of all things, colors. And from the colors, I can pretty much interpret personalities, places, dates, names, etc. I again, hope that makes sense to you. But
it does. It's, I guess, not unlike a phone call. You don't need to see them to hear them because the energy is bringing it to you.
Right.
Okay.
That's correct. So, many years ago, I've been doing this for almost 30-something years now, over 30 years. And when I first started out, when I said to people I was an auric, literally people thought I sold vacuum cleaners.
Auric, that's the first time I've heard that word. That's funny.
O-R-E-C-K, the vacuum. I'm an auric, A-U-R-I-C.
I see.
Big difference.
That's pretty fun.
So I knew I had job security for the rest of my life, because I'm always into educating and teaching people as well. What I noticed over the years, too, is when I communicate to the other side, specifically if I go into a place that's haunted, I can pick up on the spirit world. They don't have a physical form to them. They have an energetic cloud, if you will. And now, again, I don't see this gaseous cloud form coming down the hallway, but I get it in my mind's eye, and they project a thought to me. Like if I say to you all, and it's funny in California, because I used to say, if I'm asking you to see the Golden Gate Bridge, your mind sees the Golden Gate Bridge. You're not necessarily there, but you're in your mind, you are.
Right.
And if I ask you to sort of extrapolate on that thought, you can essentially begin to see, you may think it's your imagination, and of course, the imagination is the doorway to your intuition. So if you're seeing like details on a cyclist, maybe a park ranger or what have you, like maybe or maybe so or maybe not, you might be able to find out if the person, like if the park ranger happened to be the name you picked up. So it's a neat way to sort of test your own psychic ability as well. I
see. So how would, how would I know if I even had a natural affinity to do this? Because I really feel like I don't. I'm really kind of out of touch with myself personally. I have like no grasp of how I feel about anything. My wife will attest to this. We've been married for 14 years, and she'll ask me like, "How do you feel?" I'm all, "I don't know," and she tells me, and I'm all, "Yeah, sure, that sounds good. That's me. I'll be that." I don't know because I just don't know, And it's like, how do we? Is it meditation? Is it being in touch with oneself, or is it something entirely different?
I think that the meditation is essentially a tool to make yourself stronger. Psychic ability is a muscle, and you do have a psychic ability. Your psychic ability comes through as a scientific mind, a very logical mind. It has to fit into point A to point B to point C to point D, and et cetera. So in that sense of logic, there's intuition as well, because you're weighing out your options. Sometimes I like to liken my psychic ability, if you will, to reading a binary code, zeros and ones. And so what I'm doing in my mind is I'm actually muscle testing kinesiology for people who might understand that. But what I'm doing is I'll ask a question of myself, and then I'll just feel it out. I'll go yes, and if it feels calm, then I know it's to be correct. And if it's not calm, it's incorrect. And I'm using my scientific mind in a really fast-thinking, speeded mind, okay? And so you have psychic ability, but it comes through as a logical thought and perhaps hypothesis and feeling things out.
Okay.
So I do see that you do have a psychic ability,
but
you're logical. There's nothing wrong with that.
So is this something that you discovered that you had young or later in life?
Well, I thought I was 16. However, with hypnotherapy regression, the hypnotherapist brought me back until I was around 3 years old. And she said, "No, you seem to be showing these abilities when you were very young." Except I come from a family that's, again, very scientific and quite religious. So for me to say that I'm a full-time psychic medium, might as well see hell freeze over. So it wasn't really accepted in my family.
I see. So when you were 16, was there a lot of pushback? Was there a lot of rebellion in that?
I did not discuss my psychic ability until I moved out. It wasn't until I was
So you were smart about it.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
I said so you were smart about it.
Yes, I kind of stayed real quiet. It's sort of funny. My sister is a professor at Princeton, or was tenured in Princeton University. Mm-hmm. So we are very opposite, yet at the same time very intellectual and very intuitive. So growing up, I wouldn't dare to say the P word, psychic, no way. It wasn't until I moved out. It's then when I started to attend meetings such as MUFON, Mutual UFO Network. I used to meet with, I lived up in New Jersey, so I'm going to name drop a little bit. Bud Hopkins, John Keel when he ran the Fortean Society. And so little things like that, hanging around people such as that, it began to really sort of grow. Even Linda Moulton Howe when she was in Philadelphia. So it's been a long time since I've been doing this.
Well, so is this what you do for a living? Is this, I always got to ask because, just to make it clear so that nobody thinks I'm asking some hateful thing. Radio Wasteland is not what I do for a living. It does not pay enough to raise my 3 children and take care of my wife and stuff, But is this something that is your life? This is what you do?
Yes, it is. Well, I have been full-time since 1987 is when I started as a professional. 1993 is when I started full-time.
We're not far off from the break, but how does starting as a professional go in that conversation? I mean, I assume that bank loans are out,
Well, before I was a full-time psychic, of all places, I used to own 2 comic book stores, and I traveled the country as a Star Trek merchandiser and used to go to the San Diego Comic-Con when it was a comic book show with Stan Lee in the basement.
Okay, I love you. You're my new best friend. That's how, I ask people a lot on this paranormal stuff, like how they got into it, and it tends to be an experience when they were younger, but for me, it was comic books and movies and stuff that got my imagination going so much that I'm just all, I'm going to look into this and see if there is any reality to it. For me specifically, it was horror films, but it's nice to find somebody who also segued via the same route that I did. Okay.
I could talk your ear off about comic books.
Awesome.
In fact, I used to have discussions with Gene Roddenberry and Mangel before they passed away, and how we were discussing what betazoids were and being that they're psychic and Ferengi, but that's a whole different ball. Ferengi's are not psychic.
All right, let me cut you off there. We're coming up on our first break. When we come back, we're going to have you do a reading on one of us. Would you prefer to start with me or Kara?
Doesn't matter. I can read both.
All right. Well, then Kara and I will flip a coin, and we'll see you on the other side of the break. You're listening to Mary Beth Wrenn here on Radio Wasteland, talking about auras and psychic mediums. Come on back.
Find all our shows and archives by visiting Radio Wasteland at radiowasteland.us.
All right. Welcome back to Radio Wasteland and our guest, Mary Beth Wrenn. Mary Beth, it looks like I won the coin toss, so I will be getting my aura read. Before we get started, I wanted to, let's hit this afterwards. It'll happen as it comes. I kind of want to know what each of the colors mean. But
I can give it to you. I can do that very briefly as well.
Okay, well, let's get started. I've never done anything like this. I mean, what do I say? Tell me about me.
Well, you could just sit back, relax, and let the game begin, so to speak.
Sounds good.
Like many psychics, or maybe not like many psychics, I don't need any questions. In fact, when I communicate to the other side, I really don't even want to know who you want to speak to. That throws me all off. So I just go straight into the auric field. For example, your aura field is the color of a watermelon. It is green, it's pink, and it's white. Now, this is interesting. The pink color, it seemed to be pinging into this color. To me, it means the medical field. So I wonder if there is something to do with either you had studied medical field, or your wife is into the medical field, or that there has been something very, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say surgery or drastic or optional, like a medical procedure that was optional, or what keeps coming to mind is weight loss surgery, but look, if you're a size 3, I'm sorry, I don't mean that.
I most certainly am not a size 3, and you did actually hit on my only surgery potential that I have had in the past couple of years. I almost got the weight loss surgery, but I didn't because, frankly, I couldn't quit smoking.
Okay, no, that's no problem.
Which I've quit now.
Your aura field is telling me that... Well, let me back up a little bit. The white in the green part of the aura, the white is angelic. So it feels like to me you've got a lot of spiritual help. Can I prove that? No, I can't. But I can tell you this, that you're very rational on what you do with, like, recipes, or that you do count, like, the ounces and the grams and the pounds and the calories, and you're very exact like that. Now, green people, not only are you the diehard optimist, but you have to write down your things to do, or otherwise they're out of sight, out of mind, and you're on to the next topic.
Well, the second one.
Okay,
Kara's coming down on me because I'm a recreational pessimist, but I do think that I am actually quite optimistic.
Okay.
I just like to talk a lot of crap about. I'm poetic about how I think about my misery.
Well, you do make a lot of spreadsheets, so that one is definitely
I do make
correct.
a lot of spreadsheets.
I was going to say, now, this man, Chauncey, your energy comes across to me as like a list planner. You dot the I's, cross the T's, make sure things are done. If you have like a list on a dry erase board, you'll fill out the triangles or get them done. If you're not done with 5 items, it feels like you haven't finished the day. So I feel like you could keep working.
Yeah, my one thing I wish I could fix is I wish I spent as much time doing as I did planning.
Yeah, that's what a green would do. Constantly planning. And then that's why you have to check that off, or otherwise you won't feel like you've done anything. Now, there's a career with green that I all like to point out. It's computer programming, believe it or not, recipes and chef. Not that I'm saying that you're a chef. Maybe you're an armchair chef. But it's recipes and planning. I know that Kara's energy's in that room, and I kind of want to touch on that, but I'm going to try to focus my energy on yours.
You're welcome to go back and forth.
I still want to say something about Kara's energy.
Yeah. You're welcome to go back and forth or do whatever's comfortable. Yeah, do whatever's comfortable for you. We don't know what we're doing.
Great. Kara, your energy is this brilliant gold aura and also this color of red. Now, I feel like there's self-employment in your future or around you, where I'm going to get real specific. Have you ever put together or had been a business owner? This sounds strange, but I feel like I'm supposed to say workout, Pilates, yoga, owning a business that has to be health-oriented. I'm going to stretch to the word juice bar, but I feel like you've got a business opportunity where you can make a lot of money, but it has to do with health and healing and what have you. But self-employment, definitely a teacher, definitely a leader, but you also have to be very aware of you're very passionate. Be careful of not opening mouth and inserting foot. So think about before you speak, okay? But I just keep getting this passion energy. Now, I could come back into Chauncey's energy, but do you understand that?
I think Kara has the look on her face like she's disagreeing.
Okay.
Well,
if that's okay.
I don't know. I don't know what the future holds.
Then it still feels like I'm saying something about self-employment, and you got this red energy all around you. So that's what's telling me.
Well, she is self-employed.
High drive.
Well, yeah, I am self-employed.
Okay, so you're self-employed. But I still see this high drive, really focused on, I want to say, the metabolism of the body, or yoga, working out, running, jogging. There's so much energy within you. So that's why I wanted to kind of bring that up.
Interesting.
Now, if I come back into Chauncey's energy,
okay.
I'm seeing that watermelon energy color, green, white, pink. It's pink. I keep beelining on. All right, hold on. I was just getting a strong vision about a house. I feel like this is either an investment property or something 3-bedroom. Hold on a moment. I feel like I'm not using tarot cards. I'm just looking at the aura field. I'm just getting clairvoyant visions. Chauncey, it feels like I'm seeing a house, whether it's an investment property or a house that's 3-bedroom.
Well, I mean, this is definitely fitting into my wife and I's future, that we have been planning on moving and discussing the rooms that we need, because we don't know how many kids are actually going to tag along. In this day and age, you never know if they're going to be with you until they're 35 or not. And so we're discussing the amount of rooms that we want, because my wife, wants the smallest house possible, because she's a freak about keeping everything nice and neat. And so she doesn't want any extra rooms that she doesn't have to clean if she doesn't want.
When I see visions like this, because it's so close in your energy field, I'm going to shoot between 6 months to a year out max. Now, I'm not sure where Redding,
and we just put off moving a year yesterday.
Well, there you go.
Yesterday, my wife and I just decided to put off moving for about a year in order to clean up some of our debt.
Well, you know what they say, happy wife, happy life. You're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And she's correct with that. Okay, but the car is going to be coming in first. Now, either make sure you've got a good car with good steering or something, but I'm feeling like there's a new car or a lease that's coming up in 3 months out from this day. Like if I date this time, June 17th, I'm feeling 3 months out. Maybe it's the end of a lease.
That's probably also accurate. 3 months might be dead on to clear up one of our car payments. And we do need to get a new car because we're going to give one of our cars to one of our kids. Okay, but let your wife decide on that, because you may not get the dream car. It's okay. Yeah, no, my wife is my personal life manager.
Chauncey, I'm getting the name Jack coming in my mind right now.
Okay.
Do you understand who Jack, or the derivative would be John? And it could be a father figure, but I feel like I'm supposed to say Jack. J-A-C-K, unless it's a rhyme and it's Zach, Z-A-C-K. But I feel like I'm supposed to acknowledge Jack and connect it to a father figure. Now, this energy is just popping into your energy field. You're not haunted. It's just I'm picking up on it.
Right.
An energetic.
It's not ringing any bell to me, but, I'm adopted.
I think I'm
Maybe
seeing
it's my
a
dead
father
birthday.
figure. Okay. I think I'm seeing a father figure and or... No, I thought I was going to say a boss, but now I'm thinking about it. I feel like this is crossed over. Somebody else. Can I come back into Kara's energy? Do you understand or recognize the J, Jack, or something that rhymes to that name, father figure? Zodiac Pisces, maybe. Zodiac Pisces, like February or March.
Well, we are coming up on our break here, so this might be a good time to put us on hold for a second. Our break's about 4 minutes, and we'll be right back. We're talking with Mary Beth Wrenn. She's doing some readings of us and our auras, and it's really interesting, and it's a lot of fun, Mary Beth. So come on back. You're listening to Radio Wasteland.
You're listening to Radio Wasteland with Chauncey and Kara. And don't forget to follow Radio Wasteland on Facebook at facebook.com/radiowasteland.us.
All right, welcome back to Radio Wasteland and our guest, Mary Beth Wrenn. We're talking auras, we're talking psychic mediums. Sorry to cut you off with commercials and all that, but that's the way it goes. You want to pick us back up?
Sure. I mean, at this point, I was just thinking, well, I'm still kind of focused on Kara's energy, but I don't want to put her on the spot either.
No,
so
please, go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I love hearing about me.
Okay, good.
Who doesn't?
She is a millennial.
Well, yeah, no,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
sometimes people, especially people in the public eye, don't want to be having their personal stuff on the radio.
No, well, that's true, but
So,
this won't be the first time.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to go back to that gold aura field. Now, like I said, the gold aura field is a person, you're a type of person who would be not 9 to 5, but 8 o'clock to faint, if you will. The self-employment energy is so strong with you, but it's this energetic field of red that I keep seeing. So I was wondering if it's not in the, like a aerobic studio or something. I wonder if it has to do with the health field, but I keep feeling like an older person. Or it has the healthiness connected to, I don't know if that means you're taking care of your mom or what this is, but I just feel like I have to keep reiterating about health and keeping an older person nimble, etc.
Yeah.
I thought that's just a strong, it's just so strong that I felt like I just had to get it off my chest. I hope you acknowledge it or something, but...
Yeah, that makes sense. It's I feel like I'm not giving you anything here, but I don't know. Keep going. I don't expect it to all lay out like a straight line from A to B. I'm sure it'll make sense in its own time.
True, they get those old calls that usually 3 or 4 weeks from now they call me back and go, "Wow, yeah, I now know what you're talking about." So that's normal.
Yeah.
To me, that happens so many times. I kind of laugh. I'm like, I know. It's called psychic amnesia at times, where people will be on the line and then they forget simple things. But that's for connections to the other side. I'm kind of just at this point sort of drawing a blank. You know what? I will go a little further into your aura field, Kara, but I feel like I have to stress on the birthday of January. That would be a Capricorn or Aquarius birthday. Maybe it's more Aquarius, because I keep thinking of like late January, February.
I think she's sucking at my aura. My birthday's February 3rd.
Yeah, you're close.
Are you Aquarius?
No, late December.
I'm an Aquarius.
Yeah, I'm December 20th. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Sagittarius, I guess.
Okay.
By like an hour, though. So, like, if I'd been born
By an
50
hour.
minutes...
That's
Yeah,
funny.
well, literally, if I'd been born 50 minutes later, I'd be a Capricorn, so... I mean...
That is interesting. Now, if I'm picking up on Chauncey through you, Kara, I'm going to just keep staring my energy at you, and Chauncey, listen in.
All right.
That's why it's when people ask me if they can bring a friend into a private reading, the answer is no. Because if a friend's energy is stronger than the person seeking out the knowledge, then it turns out the friend might have to end up paying for the reading because their energy's stronger.
Oh, that makes sense that Kara has weak energy and I have strong energy.
Okay,
Yeah.
Chauncey. I can stand in the corner if you want. Get some...
No, don't you do that. You stay right where you are.
Less interference.
But I will tell you that there's an Aquarius around you who is going to be making some side money with something to do with consulting or teaching or even with creative writing. Now, this could be script writing, it could be creative writing and manuscript writing, but for some reason, I feel like it's supposed to be with the two of you. So maybe some kind of side gig outside this business.
Okay, well, that is fitting. I am an Aquarian. I am a business owner. Kara is self-employed and a writer.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so...
I guess now we have to write a book, Chauncey.
No, I'm not thinking it's a book.
She said side money. You know?
It's not a book. It's a script.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's write a screenplay.
And the red energy that comes through you, Kara, I'm wondering if this has to do with an like emotional drama, or have you ever heard of like the horror stories, the horror genres that are not blood, guts, and gore, but they scare the living bejesuses out of you, like The Omen, or something like that? Do you follow what I'm saying? A psychological horror story, not blood, guts, and gore.
I mean, I love horror. I write horror. So maybe that's what you're picking up on.
Yeah, because I'm seeing the two of you creating a script. Maybe it's mystery, I'm just saying, but maybe it's mystery diner, but I doubt it. I think it's a movie. And it feels like it has a genre like The Shining or like I said, The Omen. A horror movie that makes you really think. Not Chop Shop Jason meets, what the heck, Mike Myers in outer space in 3D. Not that joke.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You want to hear something funny?
What's
I'm originally from the area of Haddonfield, New Jersey.
Oh, really?
Not Illinois, but yeah, the lady who wrote, was it Halloween?
Yeah.
She is not too far from where I grew up.
Oh, crazy. I'm halfway through the new movie right now.
But Ultimate Creep Fest, so...
Okay, well, now we're coming into, pretty close to the end of the show, and I definitely want to use a few of these final minutes here to talk to you about some other things. One is different color auras, like, is there a black aura? That's kind of, speaking of horror films, that's one thing that comes up. Does that carry the negative connotations that one would think, or is that, you're super loving?
Well, when I see a black aura, it's usually a black aura with some kind of silver lining or silver, like a color of something behind it. So that's telling me something's blocked. I don't normally see a solid black aura.
I see. Plus, I noticed that you were saying that our auras are multiple colored, so you're seeing multiple colors.
Oh, yeah. Very rarely will I see an all solid color. Just like, when babies have emotions, they're all over the map. Or you ever play with a mood ring, you go through three or four colors before you get to your mood color.
Right.
So
now,
it's rotoscopes, if you will, or it's like a kaleidoscope.
I want to clarify, so when you're describing our auras, you're sort of describing us like how we are right now. So I couldn't say I have a red and gold aura. It's like I had a red and gold aura on June 17th.
Yeah. It's a snapshot of what's going on. I think the red energy field might be, I'm going to put it out there, sometimes it means emotional. Maybe you had a fight with somebody recently. Maybe you had a disagreement with somebody. But that just shows up today. Doesn't mean it's going to be there tomorrow. I think your core energy is gold, though. So you could be gold green, gold red. So Chauncey's energy's core is pink. So he could be pink, white, green today, but he might pink orange tomorrow.
So what does pink mean?
Pink is the medical field, a person who's a caregiver, and believe it or not, a person who can't stand crowds.
Oh, yeah.
And I know you're in the public eye.
Interesting.
But I think you're a shy extrovert.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot of crowds in this studio here.
Yeah,
no, it's just me and Chauncey.
and it's not that I'm intimidated by them. I just hate them.
Yeah.
I find it overwhelming. I just want people to shut up. It makes me start to question about the purpose of life when I hear too many stupid conversations in one room.
Oh, my gosh.
I do. I mean, I got to be honest, man. I do hate crowds. I do. Okay, well, we're right here at the end of the show. Maybe let's have you tell our audience where they can find out more about you, where they can see more about you. Where are you?
Okay, just a quick shout-out. Just my name, Mary Beth Wrenn, W-R-E-N-N, like the bird with two wings, like the bird, or W-R-E-N-N. So just you can Google me, marybethwrenn.com. You can also find me on Facebook. I'm around, but most of the time, just find me on Google, and you'll see all the rest.
All right. Well, it's been a lot of fun having you on the show. And,
Thank you.
And, man, I had a lot more questions that I could have asked you. We could have
talked about this for hours.
We could have. You've been a great guest. You've been a lot of fun and really easy to talk to you, Mary Beth. And we hope to have you on again sometime.
Well, fantastic. You two have a great day.
All right.
Or a great evening in this case.
You've been listening to Mary Beth Wrenn here on Radio Wasteland.